This video is going to go over the onboarding process for our K-5 students. So each week there's a rotating cohort that comes through, and there are 2 or 3 days when those cohorts overlap. Our first new student cohort will have their start date of September 9th. So Friday, September 6th will be the first day of our contacting our students, getting them through, getting them ready to start on Monday the 9th. So here is the onboarding workflow. On Tuesday at 5 p.m. is the cutoff for enrollment for that new cohort. So all of this I will be doing, so you don't have to worry about it, but just so you know the process. On Wednesday, sometime during the morning to early afternoon, I will pull those new students that got the cutoff from the holding tank and enrollment, place them on the onboarding tracker, and there's the link to that K-5 workbook. I'm going to double check their start dates, make sure they have all their courses, make sure they have the online learning course and add it if needed. I am also going to send an initial robocall and email that just says, welcome, we'll get started. You'll be hearing from someone soon. You are officially approved and in our school. On Friday is when I place all the new K-5 students in their homeroom class. That has to be after 10 a.m. so they don't get invited to that 9 a.m. Class Connect. I'm going to seat them in their math and language arts sections so they can be ready to go. So this is when the homeroom teacher will start making those enduring connection calls on this Friday. Advisors will be creating the orientation Class Connect invites for the new students. There's the link on how to make those Class Connect invites. There is the naming conventions for those invites. So while you're doing that, you're going to also send a welcome email that I am your advisor. I'm going to be supporting you, and we'll look at some templates for that. This is when the homeroom teacher makes the first initial call, so you won't be doing phone calls on Friday. They're going to send their personal email. Teacher's going to start making student connection calls, make TVS enduring connection call notes. If successful, they'll mark it on the tracker so we know who they've talked to, who they haven't, who they've left messages with. So you'll see if unsuccessful, they'll mark LM or NA if they didn't get a hold of them, and then they'll put an X if they did get a hold of them. I'm also going to send the robocall with the email with that elementary onboarding checklist information on that Friday. So they have that checklist over the weekend, so they're almost ready to go for Monday. Monday is their official start date. Homeroom teachers will continue the enduring connection call. We will be changing the plans in the OLS for the online learning lessons, and we'll go over that later. And the advisor will run the new student orientation at 8:30 to 9, which you're really just kind of pushing that checklist and answering questions. Same thing Tuesday, but this is when you're going to start making those onboarding support calls. So the ones they haven't got a hold of or maybe haven't logged in, we're just going to call and support that homeroom teacher and doing follow-up onboarding calls so they don't have to keep calling over and over again. But we want them to make that initial call. On Wednesday, the advisor will run new student orientation help session. So the naming convention will be orientation help session, so they can still come in and get their questions answered, push to the checklist. But Monday, Tuesday will be repeated orientations. So we tell our students they can come either to Monday or Tuesday. It's going to be the same session or both if they really want to. And then Wednesday is just more of a support help session, one more time answering questions. I'm also going to be having a learning coach, a new learning coach orientation session each week, so we can advertise that as well. Thursday, I take the kids off that have completed their onboarding off the tab into the offboarded tab. And then I send them an onboarding completion email. And then after 2 weeks, if they haven't continued, if they haven't completed their onboarding tasks, those are considered failure to launch students. So those are going to be your students as advisors to work one-on-one with and hold their hand to get through the information. So this repeats every week. You'll get into a routine. That K-5 workbook looks like this. And so this is what you're going to work out of. So on Wednesday is when you'll see the new students coming in. You'll see the homeroom teacher. So you can sort by grade so you can see which ones are the K3 advisors, which ones are the 4-5 advisors. And they're going to be getting all the information coming from me and from the homeroom teacher initially. So you're just really running orientations. You're also going to be marking in the tracker when they attend orientations, and then any advisor notes if you're helping them extra, holding their hand. But use this as your guide of who you need to call. This will tell you if there's an LM or they've called 4 times or they still haven't got a hold of anybody, they haven't logged in. So you can see who hasn't logged in yet, even that they might need a little bit extra support from their advisor. So all this information will be in the onboarding training invite on the Outlook. I put all the documents in there that you will need. So we'll go over a little bit more in detail in our meeting. Thank you.